Okay, so we have graphed an ellipse. Now let's work on writing an equation of an ellipse given some information. So part A, what is the equation of an ellipse centered at the origin that has a horizontal axis 10 units long and a vertical axis 16 units long? So that's the major axis and the minor axis. How do we know which is which? Well, whichever axis is longer, 16 units is longer than 10 units, that's going to be the major axis. So we have a vertical major axis. The equation for a vertical major axis is x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1. So that's the structure we're going to follow. Let's think for a second about what this looks like. If we were to do just a quick little sketch here, we know that the vertical axis is 16 units long. That's the whole axis. That gets cut in half with the origin, so we know that if we go up 8 units and down 8 units, that's where the vertex is going to be. So remember, your A value is the distance from the vertex to the center. So this is telling us that our A value is equal to 8. Now the horizontal axis is our minor axis. The minor axis is 10 units long. Well, we're going to cut that in half. We're going to go 5 units in both directions to get the co-vertices. And the B value is the distance from the co-vertex to the center. So that's telling us that our B value is 5. And that's pretty much all we need to write our equation of an ellipse, our A value and our B value. So we have our equation, x squared over, here we're going to square our B value. Our B is 5. 5 squared is 25. Plus y squared over a squared. Our A value is 8, so we're going to square the 8 and get 64. And it equals 1. And that's all we had to do. Okay. Part B, what is the equation of an ellipse with foci at -3, 0, and 3, 0 that passes through the points 0, -4, and 0, 4? So let's sketch the information we're given. We have the foci at 3, 0 in -3, 0. And then our ellipse is going to pass through the points 0, -4, and 0, 4. So those points are on the y-axis. And then -4 is down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so because the foci are on the x-axis, the line connecting those would be horizontal. So this is an equation where we have a horizontal major axis. Remember, the major axis goes through the foci. The equation for our horizontal major axis is x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1. So we need to identify the a and the b. The a value is the distance from your vertex, your vertices, to the center. So we don't know that. We don't know where the vertices are. We just know they're on the major, or they are the endpoints of the major axis. The b value is the distance from the co-vertices to the center. So we know that from the co-vertex to the center is 4 units long. So our b value is 4. Well, what else do we know? If you know where the foci is, then you've got your c value. The foci is going to tell us how, I can't form a sentence here. All right, the focus, the distance from the focus to the center is our c value. So that's 1, 2, 3 units. So that tells us that the c value is 3. The thing we don't have is our a value, but we know how the a, b, and c all relate to each other. We've got that a squared equals b squared plus c squared equation. Let's just plug in what we know and solve for what we're missing. We don't have a, but we know that b is 4, so 4 squared, plus c is 3, so a squared equals 16 plus 9. A squared equals 25. We could square root both of those sides to figure out what a is, but all we have to do is write an equation. We just need the a squared and the b squared, so we've got enough information right now. X squared over a squared is 25. We just wrote that down right there. A squared is 25. Plus y squared over b squared. Well, b is a 4. If you square the 4, you get 16, and that equals 1.